Abram lies awake in his tent, the muffled sounds of Ur's idolatrous night rituals drifting in. Distant drums, mournful chants. He has just returned from the city's outskirts, where he had watched the stars, seeking clarity, feeling the familiar ache of yearning for the unseen creator. Suddenly, a voice, clear as crystal yet resonating deep within his soul, cuts through the quiet. It's not a sound he hears with his ears, but a knowing that fills his very being. A presence that makes the air around him hum with unseen power. The voice. OS. Pure, unwavering, yet gentle. Abram. Abram gasps, sitting upright. His heart pounds against his ribs. He looks around the shadowed tent, but sees nothing. He quickly attributes it to fatigue, a trick of the mind. Abram, muttering to himself, shaking his head. My thoughts wander too far. It is but the wind or a dream. He lies back down, but sleep refuses him. The feeling of a profound presence lingers, a subtle but insistent weight in the air. He spends the remainder of the night in a state of bewildered wakefulness. Weeks pass. Abram tries to dismiss the experience, but the yearning has intensified. He finds himself drawn, almost unconsciously, to the fringes of the city, to places of quiet contemplation. He is performing his daily duties, trading livestock, when the voice returns. This time, it's undeniable, stronger, more specific. The voice OS, resonant with absolute authority. Go from your country and from your kindred and from your father's house to a land that I will show you. Abram freezes, his hand clutching the reins of a goat. The command is audacious, bewildering. Leave everything, his family, his comfortable life in a thriving city, for an unknown destination? Doubt, sharp and cold, pierces through his initial awe. Abram, whispering, almost a plea. To where? My Lord, where would I go? How can I know this is you? The voice, OS. I will make of you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. And in you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. The doubt is suddenly overwhelmed by a wave of profound peace, a certainty that bypasses his logical mind and settles deep within his spirit. This is no trick of the mind. This is the Most High. The very purpose he had vaguely sought for all these years was now being laid bare in a single, impossible command. A few days later, Abram begins to gather his household. His wife Sarai, her faith unwavering, prepares for the journey. His nephew, Lot, seeing Abram's quiet conviction and perhaps sensing a greater destiny, chooses to leave his familiar life behind and join him. Together, with all their possessions and their servants, they form a slow-moving caravan, leaving the grandeur and idolatry of Ur behind, heading into the unknown. In his obsidian throne room, Lucifer stiffens. A subtle tremor ripples through the unseen currents of the earth, a faint but distinct divine resonance that he hasn't felt directed at a single human in millennia, not since Enoch. His triumph over scattered humanity after Babel had been absolute, a masterpiece of fragmentation. He projects his senses, discerning the source, a small caravan leaving Ur, led by a man named Abram. A man, the Most High, the aloof creator, had spoken directly to a man again. Lucifer, a low growl, laced with venomous recognition. No, it cannot be. After all this time, all my work to sever their connection, to turn their hearts to stone and their eyes to idols. He speaks again. His rage twists his features, but it quickly morphs into cold, calculating fury. He recalls Enoch's prophecies, the dreaded Son of Man prophesied to come from the very seed of Shem, the line that kept the flame of true worship flickering. Lucifer, speaking to his assembled demons, their shadowy forms flickering in the gloom. The fool. The Most High is so utterly predictable in his adherence to his own order. He speaks to this man, this Abram, because this is the lineage. This is the cursed wellspring from which their so-called anointed one is destined to spring. He laughs, a harsh grating sound devoid of humor. Lucifer. The earth is mine. Look at it. Divided, warring, sacrificing to every imagined god, every lingering shadow of the Watchers. The civilizations rise and fall, drenched in blood, grasping for power. He focuses his vision on Egypt, a burgeoning empire whose grand structures are already being built. Here, in the void left by the bound Watchers, Lucifer and his legions have taken direct control. Priests conduct elaborate rituals, their faces painted, their chants summoning not minor spirits, but powerful demonic entities. Massive, grotesque altars rise, dedicated not just to animal-headed gods, but to twisted composite figures, some echoing the monstrous features of the Nephilim, others resembling the goat-headed Baphomet, a symbol of occult wisdom, earthly dominance, and a perversion of divine order, taught directly by Lucifer's most trusted. The people of Egypt and many other lands are truly under direct demonic sway. Lucifer, his voice swelling with dark confidence. They build temples, not to the Most High, but to us, to the glory of earthly power, to the dark knowledge I impart. This Abram, this insignificant speck of dust, setting off to an unknown land based on a whisper? He will be lost, swallowed by the tides of this world. But then his gaze snaps back to Abram's departing caravan. A chilling understanding dawns. Lucifer, whispering, a new intense focus in his voice. No, this is not insignificant. This is the thread. The Most High always works through a thread, a seed. If the Anointed One is to come from this man, then this man, Abram, becomes my primary interest. Every step he takes, every child he begets, every blessing he receives. I will watch. I will test. I will seek to corrupt, to destroy, to prevent that promise from ever reaching its terrible fulfillment. The game has truly begun, and this time, the stakes are everything.